my name is Cindy Bolt, and I lead our industry strategy team for manufacturing, automotive, and energy. And thanks for inviting me to this industry spotlight. The biggest challenge we're facing right now, like everybody, is how to handle this pandemic. And I think we're beyond getting to the point of stabilization. Now the focus is on how do we bring everybody back to work, and how do we do that safely, and how do we do it in shifts. And the other, of course, is then what's the business, the way forward. Manufacturers never stopped through this entire pandemic. What they had to do is respond and probably scale back. Now they've got to figure out how do we bring them back in waves, and how do we do that safely and with all the guidelines in place. And then at what point do we bring back the office workers? There's much debate about how important that is, and certainly that has a rippling effect on office space and all the financial ramifications around that. So lots of discussion about how do we get back to work. Prior to the pandemic, there were 4 key trends that we saw across all of the industries and their subverticals, and that was, how do you first deliver a digital experience across the entire value chain to all of the stakeholders? And that's more important now than ever. How do you get there faster, delivering that digital experience? And many manufacturers really got caught off guard with this pandemic and did not have that infrastructure in place to get started. The second is, how do you deliver a digital business model that creates a consistent experience for all of the stakeholders? The third is, how do you use the data to create that experience? A whole lot of data that is now being collected that can help you differentiate the services and the products that you deliver. And the fourth and the most important one, I think, is really how do you get back to work? And the manufacturing industry, as you know, already was in a deficit of open jobs not being filled. We've now got that in a much worse situation. So how do you handle that? How do you retrain your people? How do you attract new people? The one bright light I think that came up on one of the calls was, with this pandemic and the focus around the importance of manufacturers at a global scale, manufacturing should be a cool place to work again. And the hope is that they can recruit this next generation and really help escalate that the innovation and getting to that digital experience in a more expeditious way. One key area that I think is super important to highlight here on this call is the importance of us working with our partners. Our partners have really stepped up. You've helped us respond to these customers with these really interesting use cases and made investments. Just like Salesforce, we've made investments. Hopefully you've all seen our Salesforce Care program that initially started with, like everyone, we created a command center for our employees, and then we created a center for our customers and our partners and the philanthropy organizations that needed our help. And so we offered a variety of products free of charge for a period of time to help some of those customers that immediately needed to respond, particularly in the healthcare space. But in the manufacturing space, the use cases that I described also needed a quick response. So we've also offered some help, and we can't do that without our partners. And we've created a partner community site for you to go to get access to all the materials that we've created on our point of view for COVID and beyond across all the industries. And what we hope is an outcome of doing these industry spotlights is we continue to align more and really determine where those investments should be and where the greatest value we can deliver to the customers together. Certainly, we've all been affected personally. I think it has caused us to stop and reflect, but also enjoy our teams in new ways. I'm sure all of you have enjoyed some virtual cocktail parties or team meetings that have shed some light because we're all working from our homes. But also I was asked to give a personal tip about working from home. Now, I've worked from home for a really long time in remote offices. So one of the things you notice is that, I hope you notice, I'm standing. And that's what I do. I stand all day. It gives me more energy, and it helps me keep up with the partners that are helping us lead the way. And again, thank you for the opportunity to speak on this industry spotlight.